Hey, Meteor, what the fuck? Huh? What? Huh? I mean, thanks, but like, gosh, wow, okay. Happy Sunday. Wow. I was gonna let the ad finish running and then talk, but Jesus, alright, my apologies for the crowd. Wow, okay, good morning. Sheesh, well, golly gee whiz, thank you so much. Golly gee whiz. Give me a second. I gotta recover. Whoa. Jesus. I mean, I have no, Thank you a lot. I wish words were easier, but I'm kind of I'm be real. I didn't expect any of that on a non like the stream yesterday. Oh god, my throat is gummy. Throat is gummy and unfun. I'm gonna collect the nerds now. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. Hi.
I did write Happy Sub Day, not Sunday, just by the way, FYI. There wasn't a typo.
Christian celebrates all subs.
Yeah, the sub time will continue tomorrow, chat, with FE6.
Hooray!
What, are you telling me this isn't going to be a 14-hour stream?
Christian would die.
Well, it's worth it.
Only Christian.
I mean, yeah, only
Oh no!
Christian.
Some of us may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Ron?
One of you may die, and it's Christian, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought we had a strangely low volume Ron, but Ron is...
He was
well and
turned
in place.
away.
He has his new mic, new voice.
Ron, I need you to get really loud for a second. Get really loud.
Oh.
Prepare yourself.
I'm almost
Why-
literally next time. Alright. Ah! Okay.
Oh, he didn't cut out this time.
Yeah.
Hogger.
I physically distance myself from the microphone as if that would have any effect on me avoiding the loud noises.
Yeah, the microphone, not your headphones. Yeah.
Hey, Ron, be loud for a second. Oh no, he'll be loud. I need to flee.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
I better get away from my microphone before he's loud into his.
Wait.
Run straight towards the explosion.
Okay, now that I've physically recovered. I need to play something good. So first we'll do this.
Yeah.
Thanks to Reset Lord Ambrance.
Yeah, you gotta play something. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I got Christian. And thanks for this, Meteor Edge. Goodness gracious.
How very
awesome.
glib.
Okay, stop. Meteor, stop. You're gonna get in trouble again. Stop. Stobble. How am
So,
I?
Mel.
Why?
May I see it?
No.
Okay.
Whoa.
What made you think you'd have permission to see it? Yeah, that's right. You didn't.
Oh, no.
Presumptuous little nerd.
My dinner is cooking.
What is he cooking?
But now I'm cooking a stick.
What is he cooking?
I think you know what he's cooking.
Oh no! He's
It
cooking.
wasn't a threat, but if you interpret it as one,
He's cooking me.
gasp.
Can you smell what the rock you is cooking?
Yes,
Okay.
smells pretty good.
Oh fuck.
Never had steak. I can't imagine it'd be very delicious.
Let's see.
Prison. Imprisoning me.
Imprisoning
Oh, but I
me.
can see. Prison.
Absolute Soseki.
Oh my
Ah,
god.
nice.
Oh man.
Wow.
I can't believe this.
Yes, you can, Dogwood.
There's no
like-
way this is happening.
Does snake taste like chicken? I've heard that snake tastes like chicken with the consistency of like fish, which is not exactly great and like heartwarming. Like, you know, like, oh, I'd love to get some snake in me. Like, oh yeah, I love my rubbery chicken.
What fish are you eating that's rubbery? Here,
Well, I
make fish better.
I don't know. Shut up. 20th February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Village Defenders Annual Chamber.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Chad, I've been feeling sick for the past 3 days, so if I can't do full voice range,
Then we shall fill in.
they're gonna do their best. I'm gonna do my best. We're all gonna do our best. Let's do our best.
Do my best.
Well, I never expected this. Would have thought we'd be back here again so soon.
Who'd have thunk it, Scoob?
In an Ace Attorney game?
Ludicrous.
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices.
Thank you for the recap.
In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dark, it may well be his or her own one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing.
One and only. It could be life-changing, or, you know, it could just be a day in the park.
In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
I decided that right now was a great time to take a bite of food.
I agree.
What made you think that?
I'm not gonna lie. No idea.
I mean, when you're hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah, it is AO food.
Oh my god, share.
Oh my god, I wish.
AO food or Mayo food?
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Oh.
Mr. Natsume. Good morning. His theme.
Seam is a little funny. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain.
Sorry. I just saw a meme image earlier that got posted about how penguins have like a natural oil and it's how it keeps them warm in the ocean. Or in other words, the oily bird catches the warm.
Excellent.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm tying my hair out because
It's true, though.
Just get into my ears and headphones. What's wrong, Nessa? You not ready for the oily bird catches the worm?
Yes, I've heard that expression.
Have you, Christian?
Well, you just told me.
But I don't really want to catch a worm.
Duck, can we get a...
I'm waiting in chat. I'm looking at the activity feed. I'm like, come on, come on,
No.
come on. Hit him with yeah.
Oh, there we go. But I don't really want to catch a...
Give him his worm, Doc.
But I never really want to catch a... Ooh, So, I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. and now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
He's absolutely exhausted.
Do all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. Thank you, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to travel.
Did you
You
hit your
good?
mic during that one, Doc?
You good, Duck?
It sounded like you hit your mic during that if I were posing with him.
You see, I did not.
It kind of fit the mood, so...
Yeah.
Really, because I can feel tremors in the floor. That's a great movie.
I can't do this. I can't take it.
It is a good movie.
Although, welcome student Mr. Esquire Naruhodo Esquire.
Mister.
Mister.
Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom.
Yeah.
It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it?
Yeah.
No, don't hide the truth from me. It's
What do you think it is, chat? And/or? I mean...
it's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Lord Van Seeks.
They have to seize Jordans. They're fake.
Is that right, Miss Susato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning. And yes,
How many did you find?
12.
One.
Oh my god.
Lord Van Seeks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he?
Le Gregson.
Here he is, Inspector Gregson. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Seeks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus MacGilded. Ah, what a harrowing experience that was.
Harrowing. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon, for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking.
and they're all speculating various answers.
Mundane! Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear. I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident.
That's true.
Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Welcome, Mr. Student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. It's you!
Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper!
Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that.
Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail misfortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! I would call it misrepresentation.
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you.
Straighten up real quick.
Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent Mr. Locum, student Mr. Locum. Naruhodo, Esquire Locum. Oh. Oh.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh. Benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikitoba Esquires.
Oh, only one miss this time, huh?
It's the first time I've said it. You'll get more later. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. Court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go.
Yes.
Jesus. All right, Ray, prep those chops.
This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper.
Ah!
Oh man.
Creeper? Oh, man.
Oh man.
I want to meet the Grim Reaper.
I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me.
Hey, John. How's it going?
I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight.
The racist of the Bailey. You're not wrong.
I think there's a couple in the audience.
No way.
Ooh, new jury.
Ooh, mostly New Jersey.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
However, if the prosecution has to leave to cook a steak, they shall. But only for a minute. Anyway,
That's gonna be a rare steak.
the Nipponese truly are a fascinating breed.
Oh God.
Sorry, what?
So, Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Ah!
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
Holy shit.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Susato-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Yes, swine.
Already.
Hit him with the skill issue at the gate.
Very true. A most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course.
I really gotta rub it in, huh? Justin, thanks for the tier 1. Good for a month.
Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate, violent end.
So rude.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
Shit, it's me again.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, you never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
Oh, I bet you do. So,
Bruce fair play.
I like this.
so
Oh,
members
me, oh,
of
my.
of previous cases may show up as jury members in the future.
That's cool.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Duck, give me your most normal voice.
That's so difficult. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that Mustache Fora did the deed.
Impartial.
I think that's me.
Yeah.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
The return.
Their turn.
Very well,
It's a
let us
slightly different
proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks.
Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East.
Oh boy.
The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. What is a man? Of plunging a knife in the back of an innocent woman who is doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath, they are.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
Big
Oh man,
shock.
Ray. It's time.
Here we go.
Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective and Inspector of Scotland Yard.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court counsel, inspector, sorry.
The victim's thought to be a young woman in a place by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be? Yes, I'm stabbed in the back by an attacker's knife. The victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now. She's been comatose ever since.
Oh, what? So they don't even know who she is for sure?
That's right.
Yikes.
Oh, comatose. I see. But her life is not in danger?
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map.
Always a lovely time.
As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. Out on the pavement running alongside Broad Road. Wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. And not long since it stopped snowing, and the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street.
Miss Green.
On blue, she was approached from behind by the accused, stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life is spared. She's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. Being unconscious as she was, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file, everything we know about the victim so far.
I wonder if they're going to add it to the court record.
I wonder.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. There you go.
What of the weapon that was used?
What about it? We have no time for you.
Well, I never.
Reporting officer Rowley Bate.
You can have that one, Christian.
That might be a bit of, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Talking to myself, I mean.
Sir, that here was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Except babies. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
What did you call me?
Baby stand.
Common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather than nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts this blade as evidence. Now then, what do we know from the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
No. And more important, knife.
Oh no, this is a knife. Ah! Oh my god.
Cutting it up.
The tip.
Ooh.
Oh, the tip is a gun.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip.
Just the tip.
A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
It looks disgruntled at this fact.
What are you doing staring at my tip? What are you doing over here?
You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you?
Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You just wake up in your hospital bed, you just go, knife back.
Least competent hospital.
From all I can tell, looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking for some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? Well, I couldn't say.
Thanks.
From visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
So it was a crime of passion.
No!
No!
If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Well, fuck. Call the whole police force. Why don't you?
Objection!
No!
Oh my god!
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. They need it anyway. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question.
Oh yeah?
Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir!
He's so extra.
I love him.
Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else out about the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattered his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Just a matter of working out who the books belong to. We found the bloke to arrest him.
I just remembered how this case resolves itself, and I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Oh, gee.
She knows.
Oh, the book, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Fuck.
Ah, yes. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring.
She's knifed good.
I will take that photograph for print evidence, please, Inspector.
I will take that home.
For later.
What?
You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat.
I mean, she got stabbed in the back.
I
Has some
mean,
books.
yeah.
She's all over, knife in her back.
There's
Oh
no
yeah, feet
blood,
pics.
but-
Oh yeah, feet pics. Yeah, oh
And
yeah.
it almost looks like it almost looks like a Family Guy death pose.
Ah.
Someone flip her over and she's kind of Yamcha.
If we change the camera angle, she'd be doing the Yamcha. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, flip her over a bit.
Stabbed by the Cyberman knife.
Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
You're such a toad.
Well, I
gotta stop eating. I just can't eat.
Eat before the stream.
ate some.
I can't. I
pea
woke up
soup.
20 minutes before I stream.
Have a protein bar. I
can't. Gluten.
I have a gluten-free protein bar.
Oh god, those suck.
I ate some pea soup and I mixed in some chicken in that, so that was pretty good.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Mr. Soto? Defending my honor?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Miss Naruhodo?
Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened.
We're not rereading flashbacks. Get out of here, flashback.
I could make out the silhouette of a soul. See, there it is, the soul.
Oh yeah, feed pics.
Is this how we're canonizing Soseki?
No.
Is that what it was here for?
A green overcoat?
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
That was very unsettling.
Oh my! A photographic print in full color? What will the world come up with next?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
Get him, Naruhodo.
There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them. They can make it if they try. The victim and the accused.
Just the two of them. Soseki and Green.
T-I-S-S-I-N-G.
I wonder
other-
who was stabbed.
In other words, there is nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman. Nobody at all. In fact, that the accused concedes.
Well,
A fact, rather.
Seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel.
You don't say.
it's like as if that is your job or something.
Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. But to do my job, I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Coming swinging out of the gate. I mean, we just started. But it is my one and only chance.
It's your one and only chance, Mr. Naruhodo.
A light fog, you say?
Well, light from London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
Light for London.
I mean, you know what they say. The foggy city and all that.
Yeah, actually, that's your 153 months.
You played the London chapter.
Boy, mate, you got noises for that.
That's light, is it?
Around these parts, yes. Not so nice for the Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course.
No. I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, that I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy.
Well, that sucks.
Sometimes you can't even see your own head at the end of your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed. The day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Ugh. Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. Remember, kids.
However,
Always look left and right before you cross the street.
on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused.
You're so stinky. Hold it!
How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Now I'm stuck eating.
Who's eating now, huh?
Ah, shit. Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Ah, yes. Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony.
You can't just quit someone's testimony in the middle of it and be like, all right, new witness, this one sucks.
I want another one. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
They call me Stink Miser.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
Oh, you see, T-Force, that's just how students dressed at the time in Japan. It's just a piece of accurate student's outfit, uniform.
Yeah, because SMT characters are
Students.
students.
I am unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights.
Ah,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The prosecution believes that there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
You're doing your best.
Quiet! Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Hmm.
which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Expecta.
From behind, you say?
Sorry. Why is it questioning that? You've seen the image. Come on, Reno's guy.
Yes, you do have eyes, don't you? That's right. As you can see from this print.
Oh yeah, feet.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. Annabelle's weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you see this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition? Comatose, no less. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated in Bart's. I was hoping that she'd come around before the trial starts so I could take a statement. Wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of the events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Ugh.
Also,
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Also, only case in the series where the victim is not dead.
Yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Natsume's belongings,
I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. They were irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course.
The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example.
For example.
objection, it could have been a golf club.
Oh, my mistake.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. Shop full of old English literature.
Sorry. I commend the accused on a lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke's room was stacked to floor to ceiling of those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid.
For the third time
It's no big deal. It's what I asked you.
The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Urban Books. Little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meercog Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, on the opposite end.
Well, yeah.
Which means it doesn't take a genius to work on the route he would have taken home. Something like this.
You little icon.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the location?
Location.
The crucial detail in what you've just told the court inspector is the location of the bookshop.
Couldn't agree more.
We did it!
Wait, is that wrong then? So, where is it exactly? Wait.
Huh?
Wait, let me get a redo.
What's this about a redo, son? Are you wondering me I'm sunshine? I just explained that! I got the map and on everything! Just right for me! I'm sure the book's around the whole lot for you! But I distinctly remember seeing you not in Long Council!
Oh no.
Yeah, of course. I must have been so nervous I didn't take it in.
The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend.
No, not yet. The trial's only just begun after all.
No.
Plenty of room to blunder some more.
Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court record at this stage.
Well, yes, miss, at once, miss. Sorry, I made a mistake, miss. What are we missing? Let's...
Inspector, continue with your testimony, please.
Let's have a look.
What did we miss?
I know, but I'm not gonna say.
Ugh. I was trying to go back.
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid...
Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed? Yes, they're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony.
I've realized the problem. Your books. And what's the map say? Bourbon Books.
Yay! But we still have one last,
Yeah, I'm going to the pit. Couldn't deprive you.
You asked for the help of the famous detective Herlock Sholmes to locate the defendant, I believe.
Stuff and nonsense.
Sorry?
That jack in office, that busybody, just comes and sticks his oar in whenever we ask him or not.
Yes, he certainly jacks in and sticks it in. But according to what I have here,
He just comes.
Mr. Sholmes was shown to the scene by Scotland Yard detectives.
Well, that was nothing to do with me. The lads of the scene must have done it without my permission.
Colleen, I have the VODs. I'll upload them eventually, trademark.
I tell him time and again. Whenever something happens, send word to headquarters.
But then Mr. Sholmes won't get his funny stories.
Then follow your blooming instructions.
I see.
Now at Outback Steakhouse.
That Mender gets his hand on the details, we'll all be reading it around the magazine next month!
Doc. Bloomin' instructions now available at Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
You guy.
Yeah.
Bet your last farthing that I'll be in there too, stripped of all my hard work on the case! Yes, Mr. Shrooms, no, Mr. Schultz, aren't you clever, Mr. Shrooms? That's all the things I'll be getting!
Ray, I think you love Gregson.
He's pretty cool.
Look at those eyes.
Inspector,
Calm the fuck down.
calm the fuck down. If the man is proving detrimental to the yard's activities, perhaps I should step in and deal with him.
Ah!
It appears Inspector Gregson is lost for words.
Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously.
Anyway, the point is this! That little Japanese book's already admitted! He's admitted that those books all over the pavement at the scene were the ones he bought that day!
Boy.
Let's do the time warp again. Red ink.
Meow.
The name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
Hmm.
What?
Some fish and chips. Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe?
Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue.
Very well. Well, I can see it being in great significance.
Oh. You're about to lose your minds.
But please evolve your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Your Honor, it was your books.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
What about my books?
Who's on first? Could the man be any more sardonic?
Who's on first?
He does look like he'd make that joke.
Who is on first?
Bourbon books, huh?
So the shop is called Bourbon Books.
Shoot the boot.
So the shop is called Bourbon Books, is it?
That's right, that's the closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings. And to get from there back to his room. He'd have gone right past his very spot where the incident took place.
But why was he buying books at the shop store? If I could just confirm one point. Can we be sure that the defendant really did visit the Bourbon Books on the day in question?
Well, we haven't actually confirmed it. No. You haven't confirmed it? Why the devil not, Inspector? Well, the thing is, the shopkeeper was gone on a trip, you see. Left the morning after the incident. To collect more stock, I'm told.
That's suspicious.
So we haven't been able to ask the blow if the accused visited the shop on the day in question or not.
Well, in that case, what did the defendant himself have to say about it?
No recollection. This thing is cool.
What?
Steak?
Yes. According to the statement he made at the time, the accused has no recollection of where he'd been.
Of course he doesn't.
Bloke clearly has his head in the clouds whenever he's walking about town. He claims he just wanders into whatever bookshop he happens to be passing and rarely notices the name. I should say the man ought to learn to look where he's going at the very least.
Yeah, don't say.
So, it's just as I thought then,
Yeah, Harika.
from the very beginning.
Is something the matter? How's that steak, Ron?
Yep. Inspector, you may continue with the testimony.
Yeah, alright, go back there.
You know how he has wine? It would be real funny if we just panned to him and he had a big old steak there.
Just like a plate, fork, and knife, like eating like really properly.
Yeah.
And then when he gets pissed off, he throws the plate.
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room.
If Rinosuke is sunshine and someone steps on him, are they walking on sunshine? Whoa.
It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And yes, I will be ignoring that comment.
That's great.
And you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
My books?
Your books? Why, O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Eh? What?
I've blown this case wide open.
Inspector, do you know this other bookshop?
That's not a sword, T-Force. That's Kazuma's soul.
Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that... Well, it's such a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Come on, man.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection.
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in its final analysis.
I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
all right, yes. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
Mama, it really depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said?
Oh god, it's terrifying. I wanted it, but it's terrifying.
Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously looked into that. Turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Mersham Street going east.
That's where we'll find your books.
And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh,
Yes. Oh.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticisms.
Good recovery.
To your future career in the circus.
We've gone full comment circle.
It's happening.
You're not just a clown, you're the entire circus.
You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
Down, Susato-san.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go.
Here we go.
If the accuser's coming home from your book instead of bourbon books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponi's friend.
So mean.
Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
ah,
And that is that.
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I suggest you don't try.
Well, I just say, I've had enough of this now.
Beg your pardon. Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Miss Naruto, we mustn't give up.
what do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
I forgot how the court works since the last case.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Suseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but
Well, duh.
the assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round.
That
On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
Well,
the exercise?
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't, in other words. The accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
But, yes, I've got it.
do you, buddy?
Yes, go on, I'm all ears.
Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
I mean, T-Force, it is actually, in our parts of the world, around 5 p.m. in winter, it's already dark.
Yep. It's cold as heck and very dark.
You've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning.
As someone who lives further up north than anyone else in this stream or call right now,
He claims he has no recollection.
I don't remember anything.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I don't believe this!
I thank you, my learned friend. I suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But But even if that is the case, the defense still...
Fuck, oh fuck.
I agree with Lord Van Zieks. Wholeheartedly, and in every way.
What? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Well, that didn't take much.
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
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 Ah.
Right, Kristen?
I didn't expect that voice. Holy shit.
Vibe check.
Voice check.
Full guilty scale. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous.
That is quite the wombo combo. That ain't Phoenix. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and Country admirably.
Miss Naruhodo.
No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I almost forgot about that new game mechanic.
Time to reach deep into my archaic British pockets and pull out law that no one ever uses. Because I'm the main character.
I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury.
X Factor activated.
I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Yakten Saiban.
Those are the eyes of Quarry, not yet willing to give up and die.
Jesus.
So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial?
Wield your rights.
Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with submission examination. Are the members of the jury ready for Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncle's refusal to throw in his alley.
You're so British.
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Show findings.
Okay.
Jury's contentions.
Let's talk to the jury.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddly already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If you said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can only have been the victim?
The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. Not in winter.
Ah! So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap things up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books, yes. Nice shop, that. With bourbon books. No, not worth it, is it?
With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
Yeah, quite.
Bookstore.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Well, he goofed that one.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. I give up. How can I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruto, This is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord.
What?
I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes.
Actually slap your face, Christian.
Yes, several times. Come
Ah,
on,
yes.
Ryunosuke. You can do it. I can do it harder if you want me to.
No!
Right family tactic. Filibuster.
That's your rebuttal.
Oh, yeah?
Excuse me, but aren't you...
Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Pegged.
Sorry.
Lady first.
Hit me and that young hatter pegged.
Had me and that young hatter pegged.
Oh,
What's
well,
the
you know,
point?
water under the bridge.
Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around.
What?
You had me and the hatter pegged. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around.
They won't stop talking
Yes,
about it, I
good.
swear. And the police have been badgering me nonstop.
Have they now?
If I could turn back the clock.
Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history.
Oh dear. I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
Who's on first?
Now he's Mr. Second.
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. But clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nepalese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Well, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. I mean, he's obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes on through your fun little minds?
Why are there two Texans next to each other? I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Sure, the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you are too kind, my lord.
There are a lot of Texans in London.
Yeah, there are. And you'll deal with it, bitches.
That went well. For
Howdy,
her.
howdy, howdy.
The man wouldn't have gone. Oh, I
We
forgot.
don't read
Give him
them.
a
We already read them, Duck.
It was
It's an
instinct.
accent. But you can't deny that there are other roads Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books.
I want you to give him a dusting of Texan, Duck.
Why? Oh yes, like you drew on the map. You mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Chat and call. I'm gonna turn on my air conditioner for a little bit. It's getting a little toasty in here, so if it's
Brrr.
loud on the stream, my apologies. It won't be more than a few minutes.
Toasty. You do you, gamer.
I'll mute while I'm not talking.
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
But titty are soft and warm.
Well, yes. Is this all true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road.
Ah, I'm supposed to be convincing you here.
I have given it a lot of thought, you. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position like this. Honest, I would.
A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
But at least we'll be able to. Like, what an agreeable lad. We're saving her.
Okay.
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
The longer I'm muted with the AC on, the less you guys will have to hear it.
We can't hear it at all.
Don't get caught up with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so's my family's.
That's because I've got the Discord voice automatic volume thing on, Christian, but that is not such a thing that exists in OBS. The stream will hear it.
Fair enough. Ah,
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off.
お姉様お姉様
If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
Thanks for following, Nintendo. Okay, well, chat. I'm unmuted. Can you hear the funny air conditioner?
oh, I see. That must be very hard.
No? Oh well.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up and to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn to dusk, it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner of where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Mearsham?
Mearsham Street.
Mearsham Street, what it was.
Mearsham Street. Which one was that?
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets.
Well, I can only keep 2 things in my head at once. I wish you'd stop bringing it up.
Ah!
Juror number 5. I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point of that? Can't we just get this business over with now?
Please, sir. It's important.
Fine, I'll do it then. This guy is incredibly relatable. I like him.
Ha! He was digging up Mearsham Street. Okay, we'll go back to the old lady.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am. He knows immediately. He can already tell. So good.
Mood.
Whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Garideb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room.
Beast by
The
its
master's
jury.
wife? When you get to a deal, sir, the maid. The maid, you understand?
Oh, right, that's your roleplay. She's keeping up that charade. This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Because that's legal. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see.
It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been a little over 1 week now.
And in that time, he has brought in a lot of books.
Yeah.
Surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness me, yes. He's just the sort. Haven't you realized by now, Renosuke, we're all racist?
What?
Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous moustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Miss Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more.
Well, you just called him a
Worm!
So... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's said enough damning things already.
Imagine you press her and you just get a fucking penalty.
Right? Speaking of.
Hold it!
Hey! Fold it, you say? Fold one!
That's a good gag. No. What I said was, hold it! What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. I age it several days. It's very bitter. Anyways, that's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Wow, this jury is very handy.
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked.
It was me.
Austin? Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Well.
He's right. Fucking, when the snow's done, that's when it sucks the most.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight.
Okay.
This happened on Calabash Road.
Sorry, Renosuke, but you can only get this gay.
That's right. I live in Corn Pipe, you see.
Who doesn't?
I'm not old, the old man said as he shrunk into a corn pipe.
Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back to from your books. Can't you?
My books? Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your former statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Oh, sorry. Extremely sick. Oh no, I'm quite all right now.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree. It's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine.
Oh man.
Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruto. Cunningly.
Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully.
Mr. Naruto, I'm told that you're a cunning linguist.
And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other.
Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other.
Well, I am.
Bossy man melee!
Now, I believe it's 3 and 5.
Not. Yeah.
You get over there?
Yeah. That seems right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
Objection.
Yeah?
Hey, the music stopped.
Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel? Explain yourself!
Please, don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Yeah, what? I just want this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3.
Oh, me, sir. What? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on our map of the local area.
That walk cycle is so mo-capped. It's so good.
On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have heard a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, huh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice.
Oh,
Oh.
my lord, Mr. Judge, Sir Judge, Mr. Lord. Sir, if I may.
Did you have a stroke?
I'm gonna reach into Duck's room through the computer screen and just like shake him. Just put him in the
Sorry?
paragler.
Yes?
You better quack on this next juror statement, Duck.
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man is whack now.
Excellent.
I
Also,
knew it was
this guy-
coming, and yet.
This guy is like the best person we've ever had in court in any Ace Attorney.
If you present me with a logical reason for things, I'll accept it. Oh, you have.
Yeah.
Thanks. Here you go. Right?
Quite agreeable.
Agreeable grunt. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened.
Oh
I'm
my
being agreeable
God.
right now, so you won't find out about the fact that I'm actually a serial killer.
He really wants to get to the bottom.
I always have. What about you, sir?
Who, me?
Yes, you
Well, alright then.
couldn't be.
If
That
there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say.
Lots of talk about pegging and rumors and filling holes today.
Very strange that it's all characters I'm voicing.
Oh, well done, Miss Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. Forgive me for what I must do, Kazuma. Shoo.
Kills Van Zieks.
Thank
You've
you,
learned well.
Counsel. On with the summon mission examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
I feel like he parried that blade with his wine glass.
Can you figure out the next thing?
I don't know. What about Ray Duck? Have you figured out what our next press clue is?
Definitely Juror 6 with something. It has to be. Something with with the movement of the road.
I can tell you for free that it's not one.
No way.
I slipped over that evening myself on Calabash Road and knocked myself clean out. And...
Yeah, that looks right.
There you go.
Come out.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom while this goes on. Be right back.
Objection!
those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. My callouts on these are always so generic.
It's to make you think that you might have screwed it up.
The music stops.
A flaw? What are you talking about, Counsel?
What are you talking about, Counsel?
Making me speed up my own speech patterns?
Meh. Sorry.
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Maroon 5? Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to Your Books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are aware of all this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Wrong! Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my!
My goodness. You mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today?
Very coincidental, yes. That is entirely possible, yes.
Good luck.
After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. How
Right.
convenient.
Apologies. My apologies. Well, look at that.
I mean, you came back just in time.
My goodness me!
Sorry! You need to pee!
I did, actually.
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my!
Wow. You idiot old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be rolling about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
Has it been hours?
And really, what do you think he wears such a befuddling coat? Doug?
Arg!
Work boy.
Say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over in the ice? it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat he's in?
You look snapping in it, by the way, my lad.
Thank you.
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but
You would like to change your leaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well,
Yes.
I like how he shifted immediately.
Placated. Bop. Giddly bop bop.
Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4. So the nose have it. Not guilty, they say.
I agree,
Which
my lord.
means-
We
which
do have
means
2
we-
eyes,
Oh,
but
why,
only
thank-
one nose.
Oh, well, thank you, counsel. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Ah! I'm not sober enough for this.
nothing like little Sydney.
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from a hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Six. Also, I'm back in my bench.
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
Scary, you just like the camera pans like underneath Van Zeek's stand. There's just like 80, 80 little chalices down there, and every time he needs to do it.
How many, like, he says these are hallowed chalices. Like, did he go and, like, get these consecrated in advance? Like, he's got, like, 20 of these, actually?
For the past 30 years of my working as the Reaper, every day I have hallowed a chalice at the church.
How old is he?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Well, you mean
it.
you can check, right?
Oh, he's a vampire, you know.
He's in
Can't
his
actually-
he's in
yeah.
his mid-30s.
You know, he started young.
Very young.
At any rate, I have said my line.
I know, Noah's DMing me.
Oh, I'm
He
sorry.
said, the pride tchotchkes are out. I'm so tempted to get rainbow suspenders and socks. Gay ass is not immune to rainbows. That's Noah, he's gay ass.
I understand.
Sugar is just gay salt. What do you mean?
Wait, what, Christian, what?
You know, sugar.
What?
It's just gay salt.
What?
I do see the logic in it, yeah?
Oh, you son of... you son of a nice lady. God damn it.
What's Himalayan salt in this?
Tsundere.
God, I can't with you, man.
Boy.
I wasn't expecting such a reaction.
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet, we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Whatever do you mean?
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed. Starworth juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right. Took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Japanese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Oh.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
Nothing at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor.
Now, hold the fuck up, Van Zeeks. How many people do you know that can jump 6 feet on a whim in the middle of winter? Shut the fuck up, vampire. Back up. Back up that truck. And no one in this call, maybe Christian and Duck, could jump 6 feet on demand.
On moderate vigor! Yeah, I'd fucking fall on my ass, dude. What?
6 feet? I'm 6 feet. You think you could jump at me? No.
Well,
Across, not up.
I know horizontal, not vertical, but like, that's still a long jump.
well, we do know that the roads were in good condition, so they probably could have made it, especially with all those
they
books
weren't in good
hand.
condition. The old man slipped on his ass and fell in the ice.
I know.
What a terrible counter argument. Readily vaulted by anyone of mod. Shut the fuck up, Van Zeeks.
Moderate vigor!
I am incredibly powerful.
Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
No, I wouldn't.
Me? Oh, I can't say you're wrong, no.
No!
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? Yeah, I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. What kind of foreman are you?
Ah!
An asshole. I don't relate to this guy anymore. Anyway, the coaches would have had a whole passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back wherever they can. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
See, kids, I can believe. Children are full of energy and they never stop moving. It's terrifying.
The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
I don't.
Ah,
Is that true? Is it
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Crushed in a single sentence.
And old man,
not the old man?
oh man! Oh, you can talk.
you say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped, and fell on Calabash Road.
I like to think that the old man saying, "You can talk," is not just him like saying a comeback, but him being like, "Oh, the vampire speaks! You can talk!"
Right. Was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, well, I have eyes in the back of my skull, Mr. Reaper. No, I can't say.
No, you don't remember?
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Ah!
Splat.
Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself!
My lord,
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve,
Trenchant.
why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for.
You're such a bitch. Oh my god.
And waste the player's time too while you're at it? Alright.
I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed.
Ugh.
But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What? What are you talking about?
My lord! The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand!
Oh no!
Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
It's next witnesses.
Miss Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
All right, and no matter who Wagon 6 brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over.
He's way too timid, gross, and and out of shape to jump over a 2-yard hole.
Next
All the
time
evidence we need.
on Ace Attorney.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh boy.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Shall I take him?
Unless someone else wants to be Mr. Sleepy over here. You have to be. You have to be very British. That's sir right there. That's sir.
Constable Rowley.
Get him,
I'll pass
Kristen.
this then.
Constable Rowley Beach, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
And there he goes.
And I'm Mrs. Veed. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife. He's done.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired.
Hardly surprising. Whilst to be in an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, sweep the streets, check the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean, and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights.
There are a number of items on the list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is to be expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby, a man is a man of honor.
He's so sleepy.
And a man of slumber.
Well, you know. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
It's right, sir. Isn't it, Rowley?
Constable Rowley Beach, huh? Nothing to report on the street, sir.
Oh my god.
What a great witness he's going to be.
Very good.
Very good.
I'd like to hear your former testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw in the afternoon of this incident.
Yes, sir.
If he can stay awake. And there he goes.
What the witnesses saw?
It was our wedding anniversary and brother was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rowley and I both saw him clear as day.
I love this dynamic.
Yeah.
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Ah,
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place.
Oh yeah?
What an unfortunate chance dancing. I'm on your wedding anniversary, too.
Oh, I know. But I still managed to go out for that evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of London, Bobby, sounds very hard indeed.
Absolutely, puppies.
Indeed. However,
Absolutely boobies.
this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused, Mrs. Soseki Natsume.
Just want to
I
bite his
almost
finger.
stepped over my tongue.
Just want to walk over there, just bite his finger.
Yeah.
It's probably made of iron, to be honest.
Get it,
And one
Go
of
up
these
there like-
witnesses-
Christian.
And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man's so tired, his wife had to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for defense, commence cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
My Rodo. Well, well, well. Alright, alright, alright.
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply. They're
Can
really
we get a look at
sexist
their-
here in London.
Can we get a look at their profiles? Oh, look at her!
Ah!
She's so cute. Oh, she's really cute.
She's delightful.
She's all fluffy.
You. Oh, Olive.
I don't know.
23.
23.
21.
What a Fire Emblem portrait. Jeez.
Alright.
Looks like an
It is a bit, isn't it?
Fiercely proud.
Like a Charlotte-inspired character.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
Oh, I think Rowley looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down on the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rowley. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognise you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Neither does this job. Kindly adhere to the point. You are going for a meal after you had finished your beats for the day, correct?
Oh, that's right, Shaw, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end.
Amy's my laugh.
What's that now? My warrant's card, sir. Proof I'm a London copper.
Wondering why Chris is talking like he's got something in his mouth. It's because the character has something in his mouth.
It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of our boots is all Londoners need to hit to feel safe and secure.
Oh my god.
So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Spade put up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care.
Oh, bless.
Oh, Pat,
Oh, Rowley.
I love them.
Oh, what a charming couple. The young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Hold it!
Good for them. Good for them.
Good for them. You are roommates. 2 silhouettes.
They were roommates.
That's right.
And also, man.
They were coming towards us, walking up Broad Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim is pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately, it does.
Oh, sorry. And you're certain that at that time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there were streetlights on Broad Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Huh? Or... Oh, yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight, and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any...
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Bede. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir! As a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true.
Oh, gag me.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley.
Oh, my hallowed chalice.
I'm still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
A man died.
Hold it!
Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realised what it was. Didn't we, darling?
Huh? What? Oh, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books.
Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print.
Rowley, you're so funny.
He's a darling.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
I am not rotten. Let's not forget, that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. He was the man in the dock without questions. Mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Everything.
Oh, fuck.
Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying,
Oh.
intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here.
May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife.
Yes,
Oh.
bootlicker.
Now please, continue.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
I love him so much. That's why I wanted to
He just falls over like. Meow.
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I might not be a police officer myself, but I am the Pride Wolf.
Ah, give me a second.
Well done. Pride wow.
Pride, wow.
I am the waifu.
This is bulletproof glass, right?
Shut. You leave me be.
I am the proud wife of one after all.
Christ.
Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I asked Mr. Spate to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Pete. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
Blue.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance. What do you mean exactly by the right police box? Well, it depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia to wait to the police box for the bait the incident fell under secret gun report. Gone.
All ran there as quickly as I could and asked them for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
He's perpetually blushing.
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir.
Well,
Let's move on, shall we?
Hold it!
God.
But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
Oh, we absolutely could. Us London is an exceptional eyesight, I have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps is more than enough. And my husband already told you that focus on the light, didn't he?
Yes. And what of the fog?
We're famous for us across the globe, I believe.
Drinky time.
You don't say. I'm out of order.
Menace to the... well, it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes. All right. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant flow mixer was very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for certain that if it was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
Oh. What? Yes. It was the accused and no mistake.
A lot of spouse abuse in this here case, huh? First Mr. Garrett
Yeah, a little bit.
now Rolly's getting tugged about.
Mustache, the hunchback, the cataloger, unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime.
That so sucks.
So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony?
What do you think, Miss Naruto?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
Well, the members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no. Then what do we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here,
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony, which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it?
Because all in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Oh, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so... It seems like you don't believe a testimony. Is that right, is it? Well, out with it!
What? No, no, no. Oh, no. It's really not that at all.
I was a policeman, remember, and I know what I saw. I remember every last detail. Everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books that man dropped?
So
I
cute.
could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. And you did question how reliable my testimony is.
Less cute.
They are adorable.
That's
I
what you
went
miss.
through it all. The Japanese lawyers know I do what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute it probably will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down.
Please put your husband down.
Perhaps you would like this opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Beat.
How convenient.
Might that please you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely.
This poor bad.
Wouldn't it, darling?
I just want to put him to bed. Oh my god.
I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene.
Can you now?
Oh,
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say.
Those books by the accused are at the nearby secondhand bookshop on the day of the question. I'm sorry, I'm eating.
Try it again, wrong.
Give me 1 second. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby secondhand bookshop at the day of the question. It's a bit closer. It's a bit closer.
The shoop.
The shoe, the book shoe from the Pride Wolf. Okay.
After I've been to the police books for Hellboy, well, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's life, after all. I did it for Rowley.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting somewhere to say rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Mrs. Beat, seeing as you regale the court with your tales and your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene?
I'd be happy to. Now you're listening. There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other in Wood's Yearnings, and then there was a meal for someone, and the last one was definitely the thingamy something.
You got it in one.
You see?
Got it in one.
Good job. Good job, Patty Cakes.
Can we look at our books? I mean, the
I'm
books.
just gonna call her
Receipts.
Patches.
Oh my god.
Patty cakes.
Truly a mind like a steel trap.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah, close.
However,
However, there's a fourth book.
But,
Oh man.
there is a problem. Yes.
yes, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
or 3.
Oh well. They were along those lines, I'm quite sure.
There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Oh,
Oh god!
anyone who upsets my Patricia will have to answer my too.
Whoa. Whoa, buddy.
Put the gun down, Rolly.
Yeehaw!
You're not on the clock! Put down the Glock!
Bobby Shaw's on the clock.
Terrifying.
Yes, she really is. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony.
Yeah?
Do this again.
I wonder what the contradiction could be.
Gosh, I wonder which one. It is.
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow!
Take a look. It's in a book.
Your ass is on thin ice.
You're saying that there were 4 books?
Yes, Roy, I remember all of them. The picture amongst somebody, what's it, yeah, and the meal for someone, and the thingamy something.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no! What for?
Don't be so cute at me! Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books.
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. I suppose we could have presented this as well. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear, I saw them.
No, madam. I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no! Oh no!
Objection!
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nibni's friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving.
Well,
So you've striven to alert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
he sees right through me.
But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife, and her entirely accurate fit testimony in every respect.
Oh!
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? There's no way any book could be hiding. It only shows 3 books.
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print.
I've withheld evidence from you once more.
That print? You mean to say?
I have withheld evidence. Free, I do not withhold anymore.
Did Gumfuck not tell you?
Did Greg fuck? Not
Did Greg fuck not tell you? Oh god.
My updated photographic print, sir.
What is evidence? But allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand.
The lion's pride?
Well.
Wait a second. We saw that book recently.
We sure did.
It's the 4th book.
As you will observe. The 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso.
No. No!
Yes!
The way this case resolves is the most hilarious thing ever.
Order! Order!
There, you see? Look at that! Look, look, look!
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir.
Indeed. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day of question. Mrs. Bede, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Mr. Somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq.
Hey, what's it, yearnings?
Canterbury Yearnings.
A meal for someone?
A meal for Gabriel. In fact, I don't know.
Gabriel.
Gabrielle. Oh, Gabrielle. Okay.
Gabriel.
As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details.
Yeah,
Not
flawlessly.
quite flawlessly.
Mrs. Bede's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
I mean, that is pretty good, I have to admit.
It is, but it's not flawless. Don't get it twisted, my guy.
Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. I love them.
Ah,
But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Bede mentioned 4.
math!
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print.
I'm sorry, counsel, but does not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt?
None of these adults can figure out why the 4th book is not on Soseki's receipt.
Why, indeed?
It's not hard at all, my lord.
It's even.
As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
No, it don't.
The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder, what became of that 4th book?
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard.
Was it not?
I have it here as evidence. I withheld evidence once again. Pray I do.
You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel.
My pleasure, my lord.
See, the Phoenix Wright games can get away with this kind of shit because in actual Japanese court of law, the prosecution does not have to present all evidence at the start of the case. However, we're no longer in Japan.
It's fine, it's drama.
The 4th
Having
book.
handicap.
I would rather this than having it all be laid out at the beginning.
The prosecution rests.
It's funnier this way.
That is, yeah.
There is. The Lion's Pride.
Lion's Pride.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride. That's strange. I think I have heard of a book by that name before, and very recently too.
It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh my goodness.
Toasting in 3D.
That's a 3rd degree burn if I've ever seen one. Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me?
It should be raising multiple red flags in Yuri Unosuke.
Deja vu! I have seen this crime scene before!
Fire on the street.
And I
You're
know
not
who
ready.
it belongs to!
Examine.
Thumb.
Thumb,
Thumb.
thumb.
You can tell it's not by an AI.
Oh!
I have nothing further to add.
Oh my god, did you hear about the game company that fired all its
Yes!
artists?
God.
Oh,
Wait,
What
happened?
a flubberty wubbert that was.
What happened?
Jiminy.
The game company Citus?
I don't know.
No. I can't remember, but they posted it in general. And some game company laid off all of their artists because AI can replace all that.
Huh.
Oh no.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend, as you always do. But your resistance until now hasn't been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious no longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we've said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat.
I think you got there already.
So, perhaps the ladies
you're
and
right.
gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions.
I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Should the court waste any more time on this Nippony travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already?
Oh, we haven't heard
Oh,
from
nar.
any of you in a while.
You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Miss Naruto, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now?
Gosh, what do you do now, Christian?
I probably raise an objection.
Yeah.
Objection.
Just like that. I'm not done yet.
What? No, my little friend, it's over. I have the high ground. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but...
Go on.
Yeah, I can't think of what to say.
That's what I thought.
If I may, Lord Vinzies. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh,
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
A lot of talk about
Yeah.
holes today. Filling holes and getting picked.
Mr. Naruto.
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So, the court will hear you, madame.
Go ahead, Miss Susato. Please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, Susato, what's the linchpin here?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruto, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is, and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Miss Susato. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here.
Oh man. Oh man. Here we
I can't let it go to waste. I actually played a fan-made Ace Attorney case at one point.
Yeah?
And
Fan-made?
the prosecution, presented there was a tape recording, a cassette, and played it out for the court, and it's like, shit, well, fuck. And the same kind of thing happened.
Yeah.
But if you just let the conversation keep going, it goes to a game over. So I'm like, fuck, what the hell? But you have to go into it and examine it and realize, oh, the prosecution closed the cassette beforehand, and there was more to it. And it's like, nice trick. It's like, oh man.
Wow. That's mean.
Yeah. Without pointing it out.
Spooky.
The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Christian, you asked the question.
I can post about it in generic chat later if I find it.
Very well.
Very well.
The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers profound insight into this case, and has hitherto been overlooked.
My armband.
My armband. This
What could
means
it
that
be?
I am a lawyer. I'm a genius.
Not
Got him.
anymore.
No, he said I'm not a lawyer anymore. That's implying that I'm going to
No.
lose the lawyering from this case. Nar. Is the book?
It's the book.
Yeah,
It's the book.
It's on fire.
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know.
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter.
Oh, you must concur with my nuts, Judge.
Oh, what was that, madame? When I afforded you this opportunity. You led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue.
Well,
He just looked at the book.
So I must insist you elaborate, counsel.
Wait,
you will
fuck.
divert this clue at once. Make yourself clear.
maybe.
Van Six is colorblind. He can't see a burnt book. Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Naruto, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be right on track.
Yes, I think you might be right. We are spending a lot of time on this.
We are. So, counsel. Precisely, where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals?
Kindly turn it over, my lord.
Turn
Oh
it,
my goodness.
Turn it. Oh my.
Turn the
You
page.
do it now.
Wash your hands.
You do it.
Oh, you have to click the. Shut up!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Good gracious!
Thank you, my lord.
It's been burnt to a crisp!
So, we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Extremely unnatural.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Neopides friend?
Shut the fuck.
I mean, no, it isn't. I mean,
Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
Delightful,
a
isn't it?
charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try.
Outside indeed.
Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Council! Explain this theory of yours! What do you suggest that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry Thomas suffered?
Its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth. About the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
She was an arsonist.
But we already know who the book belongs to. My victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious! How could you possibly?
Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise.
Golly.
But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
I'll burn you, Van Zeekel.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
I know who the owner of this burnt book is.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb.
The landlords?
He's finally been taken aback.
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know. But of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garrideb herself.
The jig is up.
You've been owned now.
Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garrideb's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrideb's house?
I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
You're unforgivable.
Objection!
Wrong, bitch. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know
My word.
that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house.
Good lord! What sort of incident, Counsel?
A fire, my lord.
We're not reading flashbacks.
I'm mooning you.
I'm mooning you. Mooning you.
Moon. Ah, look at him.
The lion's pride.
By Jove! The very same title of the subject of this debate!
dear me.
Objection!
This is reciprocal.
Rising.
Risible, thank you. All you told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime.
Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord.
Also, Duck, late, but you owe us a quack.
Oh, hilarious!
Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb, even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't imagine even being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Broly?
Comedic timing is everything, guys.
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
Sha?
They're so cute.
They're so cute. Oh, Nar, his favorite old novels. Up in Smoke.
Up in smoke.
Up in Smoke, sha. Under heavy enemy fire!
The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious! Are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
That's a big coincidence. No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there is no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time?
Not even remotely! Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that
Accompanies it.
accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Ah,
Ah.
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you honestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough.
Huh?
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that a little teach the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly, implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sakes. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. After all you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging an unstanding citizen's name through the mud. Submitted to further attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Oh, sorry, desu ne.
My god. Too right.
He's got good reflexes. Here we go.
How long have we sat here now listening to this Neepany spouting his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly stab the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache, and he ran away from the scene too. I pointed 5 times.
I do declare you're right.
It's true.
Yes. What did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Sorry, what's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks?
I'm not sober. I'm too sober for this.
In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait. The mystery of the 4th book still hasn't been... Oh.
Books are your
Predilection.
predilection, my learned friend. Study them on your own time. My Jordans.
What? No forgive the discourtesy this time?
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Oh dear.
Oh well.
Oh dear.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Jump
Why?
scare.
Every time.
Guilty.
Ugh. Back at it again at the Krispy Kreme.
Too crispy for my liking. Thank you for that unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over.
It's Jover.
Oh, you shouldn't give up, though.
Miss Susato,
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
you're not suggesting the thing we
course.
always do?
The defense has the right to another summation examination at this point.
I thought we only had
Still
the one.
convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination.
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined.
I ain't heard no bell. To be Contanyon.
Allow me to fill up on water. I'll be right back.
Everybody in the chat, go get some water. Go take a piss. Everybody in the call, go get some water. Go take a piss.
Gladly.
Bruh.
Especially you, Duck.
What?
You're so small. The water has to go through you fast.
What the fuck? Such words.
Such words. Are we going longer? Yeah, we are. It's not even 3 hours yet.
I ain't heard no bell.
I have considered the defense's counsel request for a further summation examination of the jury,
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum.
and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman?
He's watering himself.
He's making piss. Chat, how are you doing this fine Saturday, the 27th of May? How are y'all hanging out? You having a good time? You relaxing, maxing? Hanging all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school? When a couple of streamers who were up to no good started voicing games in the neighborhood? You
That's
saw
me.
one little scene and your parents got scared and said we're blocking all your streaming on twitch.tv for Bel Air?
It's really weird because I don't live in Bel Air, but yeah,
Here's a
actually.
weird fucking door.
So,
Thanks to the 150 bits, right?
you remember that paper I told you about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that you had to do.
Yeah. I got it in
Okay.
3 minutes after midnight.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So, you know, it read there that summation is 3 minutes late. You know, it doesn't matter. It's on a Friday to Saturday. They're not going to check that. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
Wake up. Look at it. It's one of those. It isn't for every submission, but it is for a couple of them. Ones that you have to extra confirm with an additional clip.
Oh no!
So it was 9 hours late.
No, Kristen, no, that's aw.
But I don't think it'll matter much. I don't think.
You nailed the essay that good.
It's more that, you know, I think, you know, maybe.
Well, God, gee whiz, I hope so, buddy. That's awful. It's genuinely awful.
It's Saturday morning. They probably. It's fine. It is kind of strange to put the final day, the deadline, on a Friday midnight. Like, put it on Sunday midnight. You're not working.
We good to go?
Yes, sir.
I'm here.
Christian was revealing to us the terrible unfortunateness
Soon
of,
you shall come to understand the tragic extent
that
of
my
failings.
legs. The tragic extent of my failings. All right, Ron, read us off.
We are, my lord,
Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds in which you find the defendant guilty of this crime.
Judicial findings. 2!
2.
Jurors' contentions.
2.
Sorry. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime if the window was closed, can it?
Dearie me, it was only a little book. How did I threaten you with a direct hit?
Look, I just want to get this over with. If we don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a titty bit of trouble.
Titty.
What?
Titty.
I'm to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes. I breathed in.
This delightful old man is a bit too old.
Yes, considered more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course.
My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, another chalice gone. No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime.
Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts.
But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here?
Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
And there I was thinking this might be hard.
But Mr. Earl, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends.
No pressure then.
Pressure.
No pressure.
That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please.
Pushing down on you.
I presume you are prepared, counsel.
No man has fault.
Oh, yes, my lord. All right, Ryunosuke. Focus your mind now.
Gain plus 30 hit and evade for 1 turn.
Clearly, the key to this summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Mrs. Garideb.
We have a book that disappeared from the Garadeb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the 2. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far. Whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garrett and how she reacts. Even to the things other people say.
Well, thanks for the spoiler. Oh, look at them in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave behind you, smarmy schmarm.
But as we know now, there were 4 books, not 3.
Well, what difference does it make?
There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord.
Yes, that's the part I have the problem with.
Sorry?
Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fire scrap with his wife or something, you said.
That's not exactly how I put it, no.
Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife was somewhere else when it happened.
Huh.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nepalese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all the Pavlov is about. It's a done deal, isn't it?
Palaver.
Oliver. Kinda skipped a few, yeah.
My best advice for you, Ron, is when you see a word that you don't know, just read it like how it looks and spelled. It probably comes out properly.
Yeah, okay.
I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. Did I ever have any?
Oh, damn, Christian, way to tear yourself down.
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh, God, the yawns, leave me alone. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel that.
Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
That's great.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? I say as I stretch the fuck out, because I have to.
Oh, stretch good. Ugh.
Hey, what's the juror number we have to pay attention to?
4.
You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme. There should be a sound effect if she ever, has a reaction to something.
Ron just wanted to post a funny image.
Oh. Oh.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite 1 or 2 minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelmingly.
But us modern gals are always glad to embrace new fads, you know? So I would be too happy to reconsider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too. If only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
Right. I'm glad you omitted rational there.
Oh, that's good.
But what about the possibility that the window was open?
Dog?
What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been.
Now, how can you be so sure?
The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, you see.
But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you?
It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it.
Then what's the point in even having windows, huh?
Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Somehow, I need to show there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. Because this young man isn't going to budge otherwise.
I mean, it's not like it was warm inside.
He's too logical and right. Oh man, Duck's playing a video game over there. Hold it! Whenever you start talking, all I can hear is your little clicky clacks.
Arg!
Narg!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
Flames of love, I'll have you know.
There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Neutron bomb was a scuffing baby.
Pink Bomber disagrees.
Dana! Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I say cuffing baby.
Oh, so isn't it?
But he put upon himself, it's playing with fire to betray a fire love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Oh, well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes?
I'm gonna aid man.
I felt
That felt
good.
good.
But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garrydeb.
Also,
Never you mind that. The point is, we were just having a jovial dispute, nothing more.
Oh,
And I won't have any more of those suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime.
I miss my wife.
Right, well, we'll see about that. But what about your number 5?
Ah,
He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garrydeb's relentless onslaughts.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
This is a terrible case.
There's so much spouse abuse in this case!
Jesus.
Where's today's
I feel
pay?
icky.
You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake.
well, him and me both then, like I said before.
What?
I told you already, I'm a day laborer, aren't I? I don't bring home some readies with me tonight. If I don't bring home, you'll find me floating face down on the Thames tomorrow.
Boy.
What?
What?
You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about. You know, she can be fierce, believe you me.
That is our third case.
No wonder he's
Physical wife.
No
Keep in
wonder
mind,
he's-
on
1900s
cure
were
number
not a good
6.
time.
Another shining example of marital bliss. Then.
Oh God, it's terrible. A situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, did you know? It's funny, but I can't quite remember.
Sorry?
It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out.
Jesus Christ. Helpful.
I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
Don't even go there, Miss Susato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this.
That's called a concussion. Hold it! Old man.
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry. What's that? You have to speak up, lad.
I can't hear you over all my clicking.
Arg! It's true.
What are you doing over there?
Only when I have to.
Apex?
No, I'm tiny tombstones.
Oh my god, he's crafting.
No, I'm alliance rated.
You know, he's alliance rating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about that? Which alliance? Or could you tell us more about that fire?
The Glad.
Can't hear you over this sick chicken dinner I'm getting, Sonny.
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was real bland. But it had 75 candles on the top. It did. Out of sight them all it was. It was bland because it tasted like wax.
You put candles on a cake?
Yes.
Was it some kind of devil worship?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously.
I wouldn't know about that.
It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow him out. Only, I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room.
Oh my god.
I'm the most powerful man you've ever seen.
I'll huff and puff and burn this
My
house down.
house on fire.
Look at what they need to do to mimic a fraction of my power.
Rocky! Anyway, the furniture caught and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me.
Oh my God.
And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire?
What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, they threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. I wasn't even on fire. But anyways, because the whole room had filled up with the smoke, of course. We had to open all the windows to clear it. That's
The
right.
windows.
We opened windows. The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I caught a terrible cold from it. It put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. 75 I was. 89 I am now.
I knew it was devil worship all along. But something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason.
Well, golly gee willikers, I wonder what it is.
We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street, as well as how he, or she, or they could have done it.
Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary.
I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation.
Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions, just a connection might do the trick. Alright, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike.
That's the spirit.
Yeah,
I wonder
alright,
what it'd
alright,
be.
alright. Let's get the easy one out of the way there.
Yep.
Hello there. Bah.
These two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
They do? How exactly, Counsel?
Don't Don't point at me again. I told you, it wasn't me.
What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see?
Oh, me? See what, sir?
Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? What a statement. It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter.
Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad to not open the window. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I never hit the next button, he'll
He just keeps
pace
pacing forever. He's getting the lightest cardio ever. Forever.
Me and my nightly rituals before bed sometimes just pacing back and forth.
On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Gary Deb household. And Mr. Gary Deb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh my hat.
Oh my hat. Look at his face!
Oh my.
Hold on.
My hat.
Oh, the rest of
Yeah.
them aren't gonna. Okay.
Yeah, it's...
Well,
I guess this is the only way
well.
to see it, them, because they're not in the... Yeah. Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Mrs. Gary Deb.
Oh, dear me! What is the meaning of this? How dare you implying that I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did?
Haha!
Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window. Which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire?
Oh, you never stop throwing till the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of
Right.
course, I should have realized.
That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruto. You've managed to establish that the window was open. You simply must have that added to Mrs. Garrett's formal statement.
Oh god. Do we have to press them again?
Potentially?
To pit? I mean.
Or maybe hers now?
Objection.
I mean, just as many. I mean, they don't
sorry,
contradict, but they agree.
but as a foreman of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense.
What?
I'm a banker, don't forget, an educated man. There's no contradiction as far as I can see.
Quite
does that have
so,
to do with
Mr.
being a
Foreman. I will not permit a whimsical attack against the good members of the jury council. Minus one for you.
There was nothing whimsical about it.
It's very important to listen carefully to every juror, Mr. Naruto. Then you can decide whether the contradictions really lie, if there are any.
Well, I mean,
That's 2 and 4, right? No. Oh, go. Oh god.
What else you got? What else? Maybe you do have to press.
Well, let's do it then.
The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Gardep told us he had been reading.
Well, I really couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it. Yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, all right.
Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset?
Miss. Because I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as you well know.
I really don't.
I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it.
Oh.
Wow.
It's Chain.
Excuse me.
What is it, juror number 5?
You know something? I remember what it was. That memory I blocked out.
It's time for a chain attack.
Ah,
It was listening to what this granny was saying, brought it all flooding back.
Miss.
Ow!
Who are you calling her granny, you cheeky devil? I'm as scared about the maid, I'll have you know.
the man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time.
Oh, no.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. I put my head in my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died.
Put my whole head in there.
No wonder he almost died.
There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear. What a disaster.
You haven't heard the half of it, boy.
Oh?
I get such joy out of holding scenes like this for some reason.
And you ain't gonna hear the rest of it. Anyway,
Oh.
the wife was cutting up some chicken at the time.
Oh no.
I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost a day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did, about an inch deep.
It's okay, it's the 1900s. No words, just terror.
I could smell it then, you know, that god-awful stench of Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for telling us.
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make was this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Kitchens, knives, ratchets, hammers, you name it.
Even a kitchen.
Kitchen sink.
Even a kitchen. I'm a little tired of
Miss
that.
Naruto, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined, even if I've thrown you on several occasions over the slightest thing.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Throwing household objects at people as well. It's so uncivilized.
Let that
At least
sink
attack
in.
with honor, using a bow. The heck?
What? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Combat.
Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think.
Alright. We'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Oh my god!
Susato just suddenly comes at you with a Naginata.
Comes out here like a fucking dynasty warrior.
Well, this is something we can pit.
Wah!
Haha. My, how... It all
At the
comes together.
turntables.
These two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection. I can't read these with any...
So done
They
with
are-
these.
Yeah, I mean...
Good grief! You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, Counselor, at once!
Juror number 2. Do you think perhaps
No, I don't think so.
that this could be one such novel alternative?
Oh my. Whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about?
The yeet theory.
We've demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, I had a cheeky little hiccup, I apologize, originated in Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object, besides the book, could have found its way from the Garrideb household to the street below.
What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garrideb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
I'm beginning to think that, ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened.
Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As a foreman of the jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us the yarn about some other object making its way around the house, but what? What was it?
What have you got there, Mrs. Garrideb? A knife! No!
No!
I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrideb household to the scene of the crime was...
This is a knife!
Oh shit, this is getting spicy.
Oh.
Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrideb.
What now?
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Good Lord, Counsel! What on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was dodged in the victim's back, man!
Look at them all standing proper there.
My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrideb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against a window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene.
You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp.
Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand?
Huh? Even my missus hasn't got aim like that.
Yes, I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why. We must not allow this trial to end. Not right now.
Oh my!
Mrs. Garrideb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before, or not?
Oh!
Well,
Oh, man.
A knife!
My lord!
I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word after all.
Question?
What?
Thank you, madame.
Oh, thank you, madam.
yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions.
Mr. Foreman.
No, he's juror 1.
I'd have to agree. Not that I think that Granny didn't mind.
Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents.
Hey, the chain attack worked. We killed a bunch in one go.
Yeah, look at that.
We
Still in this
We-
baby.
did it.
Yeah, you did it, Mr. Naruto.
Play my theme.
Congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
So, as a result of the defensive summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent.
Correct, Lucky. His name is Bruce Fairplay. But he is the foreman of the juror, as in he is the leading juror. So he is, at this moment, Mr. Foreman.
He also played in Fair Play.
It's a title.
Yes.
Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue.
Van Zeke's over there like, I'm on
Oh my
third
fucking god,
bottle.
these morons.
I'm so tired. No to be continued this time.
There is a contradiction in clear sight here, by the way.
Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
It doesn't.
I'm still too sober for this.
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce.
Throw or crush?
Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough.
Throw!
But what follows is so repugnant. It's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke, to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of the
Places.
Place being discussed.
Thank you.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? Yeah, this is the pretty obvious contradiction.
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garrett household,
Hold on, I gotta put a capture in GBF on my phone. I've been full auto in Gilroy this whole time.
same.
I have not.
That's good, Christian. Save yourself.
Runs a rather wide street, Briar Road,
Well, Fug.
which means that the distance from the Garrett's house to the scene of is some, 15 yards.
That's like
Which
14
any-
meters. That's like 7 me's.
Which any man could jump.
Let me see. 15 yards. That's around 14 meters.
14 meters? Oh. That's a little farther than I'd imagined. But I was just standing there the other day, so I don't know.
And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance,
Pretentious.
God damn it. The fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend?
Sneaky.
Did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think.
Hi, Jim. Gotcha.
And those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
Gah! Gah!
There's nothing I can say to that.
See, that's the thing is that, especially Greatest Attorney, we've got some real $5 words here. Portentous, like, what was the other one? Risible, like.
That's stuff I barely ever say.
Risible.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Who doesn't? Miss Susato.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
I will not stand for this.
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has the duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Miss Joan Gardeb, must be called to testify.
Testify.
Testify and submit to cross-examination.
Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror?
Let me guess.
I mean, it is quite improbable.
Order! 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 This is highly irregular. It's unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Yay!
Here, you can have another bottle. And unnecessary, like that bottle.
Lord Van Zeeks!
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it.
You had it the first time. Farcical.
Farcical. Oops. And both a burning book and a jackknife must have been flown through the sky before the couple's eyes. I'm sorry. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly.
Rowdy's gonna get you.
It's okay, Van Zink has been
I'll
drinking all
protect you,
days.
What say you, witnesses?
I'll protect you, patty cakes. Yes, sir. Constable Rowley Beat reporting for duty, sir. What voice was I doing? This one, I think.
It's good, Christian.
Wow. Good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing on till now. Sir, I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beach, sir.
What the fuck?
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies.
Most effective London
Patricia,
policeman.
my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Rowdy Moira, you make me swoon.
Very well. I hereby reject the defense's request
Oh,
and order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we get into this is where we'll be saving it because we are pushing 3.5, and this is a whole ass new testimony.
A whole ass?
Whole ass.
I
Full
believe
moon.
I have drank enough wine for one day.
God.
This game.
Did you save?
Yeah, saved.
Wait, did I save?
But are you sure?
Save something.
Wait, did you
Alright,
write
chat. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Tuesday. One of those days. Might be tomorrow. Might be Tuesday because I'm gonna have to recover from Guild War. But I'll try to be tomorrow.
Yay.
Oh no! Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? Oh, I changed the screen. That's why.
Now here's a weird fucking door.
There you go. There's no alerts on this OPS screen. I should text that. There's a weird fucking door. Yeah, I'll try to see you guys tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for coming. I hope you guys enjoy The Greatest Attorney. I always enjoy The Greatest Attorney. I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
The let's see here. Yes, the